Well, new tonight at 10, Odessa police are investigating a credit card abuse case, and they're hoping that you can help. The suspect, a woman, was last seen at a gas station using a credit card that does not belong to her. That's where Josh Navarro is now. He joins us live with the details of this crime caught on tape. Josh? It was a surprise to many. Snow flurries and high winds. This is how many drivers in Midland started out their morning. The light snow briefly fell across Midland, but didn't stick around for long.
But those snow flurries were only the beginning of a weather nightmare for West Texans. Power-packed wind gusts blew in some as much as 60 miles per hour.
Now that wind not only kicked up fierce dust storms, but also left roofs damaged, uprooted trees, and toppled 18-wheelers. Tonight we have team coverage on the weather blowing through the basin. Tom is standing by in the Weather Center. We also have Josh Navarro live from Highway 80 in Midland.
Let's first go live to Josh. He has a report on what the roads are looking like right now and a look at some of the damage around the area. Josh.
We're following some breaking news out of Odessa. We're hearing that there may have been a possible shooting involving an officer.
Now we have video that just came into our newsroom. We're told officials are working two scenes that are somehow connected. Now the first one is in a field at Andrews Highway in Yukon. The second scene is at 67th and Benefield. That area has been blocked off to traffic. We have a News West 9 crew at the scene monitoring the situation. We'll of course bring you the latest on News West 9 Sunrise, and you can always check with newswest9.com.
Investigators continue searching through the crime scene near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Several blocks have been taped off as they look for clues in the deadly bombings there. Here's the latest information as it has come down in just the past few hours. 3 people were killed in that explosion yesterday, and now sources are saying the third person was a Chinese citizen. Out of the more than 170 injured, a 9-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy are listed in critical condition. Investigators have found fragments of BBs and nails possibly contained in a pressure cooker. So far, there are still no suspects in the case. Now, coming up, the FBI is asking for the public to hand over any footage they may have shot at yesterday's race in Boston. It's no longer an uncommon tactic, and tonight we'll show you how local authorities are solving more crimes pixel by pixel. But first, we're learning more about the 2 people killed in yesterday's bombings. The oil boom has been good to West Texas, from plans for skyscrapers and luxury apartments to restaurants and stores. But as is so often the case, with the good comes the bad.
An explosion of traffic on our roads has caused our area to become one of the deadliest places in Texas. Josh Navarro has a special report tonight on the most dangerous intersections in our area.
Well, instead of a white winter holiday, it looks like West Texas is in store for more of a brown covering.
A massive dust storm is blowing in, and it's being fueled by high-powered winds from the northwest. This is time-lapse video from one of our sky cams in downtown Odessa. You can see in just an hour and a half, the clear day quickly turned dark and cloudy. And those 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts caused some major problems when an abandoned trailer caught fire. This was in West Odessa on 25th and Moss Road. Now, under normal circumstances, a trailer fire doesn't take that long to knock out. But coupled with today's winds, it took fire crews 30 minutes to put out this blaze. Well, here's what's going on outside right now. This is a live look off Interstate 20 in Midland County.
To this current case that police are investigating, if you know the identity of that woman who was using a car that wasn't hers, give Crime Stoppers a call. Their number 333-TIPS. We are live in Odessa tonight. I'm Josh Navarro, News West 9.
2 tornadoes! 2 tornadoes!
Tornado warning.
A tornado can strike in a matter of minutes with little warning, leaving communities and lives splintered and scattered for miles. Now the American Red Cross has launched its official tornado app, putting life-saving information right in the palm of your hand.
Unspeakable. I first heard about it. I'm still in shock. Excuse me a moment, I want to go.
Unspeakable and unimaginable. That's how one of the friends of shooter Adam Lanza described what happened today.
Tonight, questions linger as to what motivated one of the most horrific massacres in American history. In the past few hours, a few more details have been revealed as to how the morning unfolded and what transpired. We'll have more on that in a minute.
Plus, we were at a candlelight vigil in Midland tonight, honoring the shooting victims and the young lives that were taken much too soon. What locals are feeling tonight.
And later, the pain and heartbreak can be felt around the nation in classrooms and in homes. We'll tell you how people are sharing their grief.
But first, we want to begin tonight by giving you an update on what we know.
Well, that mammoth storm pummeled the New Jersey coast this evening around 7 o'clock our time.
Now, the storm halted life for millions as extensive evacuations turned shorefront neighborhoods into ghost towns. Tonight, we're speaking with Sam Sweeney, who is a reporter for WMFG, which covers Atlantic City, New Jersey. He joins us now with the latest.
Yeah, right now.
Live in HD from the station that brings you more West Texas news. News West 9 at 10 starts now.
We're continuing to follow the story of the Odessa woman mauled by a pack of pit bulls yesterday. Now, we want to warn you, some pictures that will be shown in this story are a bit graphic. They are photographs that paint a bloody picture of what the 54-year-old woman must have faced during that terrifying attack.
Well, tonight we spoke with the woman's family about the pain she has had to endure. Devin Sanchez has been working on this story all day and even found out this is not the first time those neighborhood dogs have attacked.
Mike and Crystal, after Monday's vicious pit bull attack here on West 10th Street in Ector County, the 4 dogs who lived in this trailer right behind me have been quarantined by animal control. But we're told there are several others who are still living right there.
54-year-old Anna Marie Salcido is still recovering at Medical Center Hospital after being viciously attacked by 4 pit bulls Monday afternoon.
Well, she's doing better now.
Okay.
I mean, compared to how I seen her yesterday, I seen all her wounds.
Salcido's daughter-in-law spoke to us Tuesday afternoon and says her mother-in-law is terrified after the attack.
It was a very vicious attack. I mean,
Salcido was mauled on her arms and her legs and even has broken bones.
tore one of her muscles, tendons, and it's attached, but it's not. It's just a little piece that's attached to it. So that, and she has one of her arms is broken, her bone is broken due to the attack of the dogs. The dog.
Showing us her bloody clothes, her daughter-in-law says Salcido was very lucky.
They just sold her because they wanted to clean her real good, make sure that everything was out, because the as what the report says, they don't have the rabies shots.
Sherry Caruth with the Odessa Police Department also says these dogs have a history.
Control has received a call before, I think one other time, and I think it may have been several times that they had to go out there in reference to these dogs running loose.
The sheriffs have dealt with them before. Do something about it. It's time to do something about it.
Obviously frustrated with the situation, Salcido's daughter-in-law doesn't want this to happen again.
To her, school kids are around, and apparently the owners don't care.
Right. Now, all day we have been trying to get in touch with 17-year-old Joshua Moore. He is the man who owns the pit bulls that attacked Salcido, but we have not been able to make contact with him. For now, in Odessa, Devin Sanchez, News West 9.
I just thank God that we wasn't in it. My kids, or my wife, or my dogs that wasn't in the house.
A devastating fire has left one Odessa family without a place to call home. They lost nearly everything they own in last night's fire. Today, Sylvia Gonzalez spoke with the family to find out how they're dealing with the loss.
Hard.
That was the only word that came to the mind of 70-year-old Thomas Nell. Signs of smoldering rubble and ashes are all that's left of the blaze that destroyed the home Thomas shared with his wife, Linda, for the last 30 years. He, however, says the fire could have had a much worse outcome.
I just thank God that we wasn't in it. My kids, or my wife, or my dogs that wasn't in the house.
This morning, Nell and his granddaughter were out at the place they once called home, hoping to salvage anything they could use. Unfortunately, the blaze consumed everything in its path. The only thing this family was able to take with them were the clothes they had on.
Nothing. We didn't get nothing. What we got on right here.
And not even 24 hours after the devastating blaze, an Odessa family has already stepped up to the plate.
It's no problem. Like I said, we have a couple of travel trailers at the house, so we have them available for him and his wife to use if they need to, if they choose to. And it's not going to hurt us at all. All they got to do is just move in there. It's already tied into our electricity, our water.
For Nell and his family, this generous offer says a lot about Odessans. But even after losing his own home, Nell still thinks of others before himself.
I hate to take anything from anybody. It's help fine, but they might not have no more than I have. And I wouldn't want them to give their money.
We asked Nell if he was planning to rebuild anywhere else.
Yes, I'm going to rebuild here. I ain't gonna give it up.
In Odessa, Sylvia Gonzalez, News West 9.
Now, an account has been set up for the family at Chase Bank. It's under the name Thomas and Linda Nail. The family says they would prefer monetary donations rather than big items like couches or beds, as they just don't have a place to store things like that at this point.
Law enforcement in Carlsbad, New Mexico is asking for the state to open up an investigation into the city's top elected official. The police officers union alleges the mayor is corrupt. And as Jenn Kastner tells you, they're wanting him to step down immediately.
The leader of the police officers union says that the mayor, Dale Janway, has been trying to coerce officers into breaking the law since 2011. Detective Sergeant Alan Sanchez and more than 60 other officials at the Carlsbad Police Department accuse Mayor Dale Janway of trying to persuade some of them into throwing out citations that were issued to residents that are close to the mayor.
We won't stand for it. You know, it's against the law. You can't do that, and it's an abuse of his authority.
And Sanchez is not just suggesting that this may have happened.
No, he did them. He did them. And I mean, I trust my members.
We tried asking the mayor about all of this, but his office referred us to one of his city council members instead, J.R. DePorto, who says none of this is substantiated.
Right now, all we have are police officers saying that he did this, but there's, no evidence.
DePorto tells us he has seen some of those citations in question, but nothing on them provides valid connections to the mayor.
They were never signed by him. There's no emails showing that he asked any officers to do this. Right now, it's just pretty much hearsay.
News West 9 still wanted more answers, so we went looking for the mayor. A trusted source told us he was at home, so we went to what we believed is his address. But no answer. We tried both his home number and his cell phone number. Still nothing. Sanchez tells us there is a chance that some of his officers could face charges or some type of disciplinary action. That's because some of them went through with the mayor's alleged requests and dismissed citations. But he doesn't believe that will actually happen.
The police officers felt like, they didn't have a choice. I mean, the mayor is the top elected official in the city. I mean, he's the boss.
Now, we're told that these allegations have been handed off to the city manager's office, and they're on their way right now to the state attorney general's office. Reporting for News West 9, I'm Jenn Kastner.
New tonight at 10, an Amber Alert has been issued out of the Dallas area. DPS is looking for 3 children who went missing from McKinney, Texas this afternoon. Now, the siblings are 3, 4, and 5 years old. They were last seen with 33-year-old Calvin Lincecum. Now, he's described as balding with blue eyes, 6 foot tall, about 290 pounds. Police believe they're traveling in a gold 4-door Crown Victoria with this Texas license plate, DT3V923. You have any idea where they might be? Call police immediately.
We have new information tonight concerning the Midland train crash that killed 4 veterans in November. A judge has now recused himself from the lawsuit. District Judge Rodney Satterwhite won't explain why he was stepping away from the case. Instead, a retired judge from Big Spring, Robert Moore III, has been appointed to replace him. So far, 9 of the 12 couples on the float have filed a lawsuit, all accusing Union Pacific of negligence.
An Odessa couple says they're being forced out of their home after a crude oil pipeline failed, leaving them with a mess. Elizabeth Perales said her West Odessa home was flooded on Thursday after a pipeline ruptured while crews were testing it. Elizabeth and some of her neighbors stayed in a hotel for the next few days, but now she says officials with Centurion, the company responsible, told her that they need to move her trailer to continue their cleanup. And although the company has offered to pay to have it done, it means Elizabeth and her husband will have to leave.
Our trailer was the most affected one. Our house got completely flooded. The rest only saw it in their front yards. Just imagine our trailer was like in the middle of a river.
To the inconvenience, the couple says this is also affecting their jobs. They sell roasted corn as a way to get by, but all of the boxes of corn on their land were ruined. Centurion officials did release a statement acknowledging that the pipe failed during a routine test for mechanical integrity. All right, thank you, Tom. Well, the sequester budget cuts are beginning to hit closer to home. Officials with the Ector County Health Department say they've already seen a decrease in federal funding. And as Josh Navarro reports, now they're worried about it happening again.
This is the Ector County Health Department's 2011 annual report. It includes the 2011 budget, which shows how much money the department received from state funding. The director says they've already received a 27% decrease in state funding, and more cuts may be on the way. It's a place where those who don't have or can't afford health care insurance come to seek medical attention. And now that the federal budget cuts are becoming a reality, the Ector County Health Department may feel the pain.
Incurred approximately 20 to 25% reduction in those grants. And we have seen that for the last 3 years, and we anticipate that the sequester is going to hit us even more so this coming year, the 2013-2014 year.
Sola says there have been times they had to do more with less. So far, his clinic has been able to keep up with the influx of new residents in the area. But he says if less money comes to his department in federal funding, they'll have to adjust accordingly.
Well, that's there now is the fixed costs of staff and benefits, and of course the establishment, the building that we're in. So we're at that level that I think if the cuts are major, there will be some staff reductions.
The department will have to slash certain services and cut some of the clinic hours. They'll apply for grants within the next few months, but the department won't know until after September what will be available to them at the federal and state level.
Our reason for being is to provide the public, at least the citizens that need us the most, that don't have another avenue, the basic services that we provide, and we'll continue to do that to the best of our ability.
If federal funding is less than before and the county cannot make up the difference, Sola says staff reductions will then take place. Josh Navarro, News West 9.
And stick around, more news right after the break.
The family is grieving tonight after a Balmorhea boy died in a car wreck yesterday afternoon. Officials say there were 4 others in the car, but they survived. Everyone was wearing a seatbelt except for 12-year-old Scott Barker. The crash happened 9 miles north of Fort Davis on State Highway 17. State troopers say the driver was rounding a curve and veered onto the shoulder. He then overcorrected and hit the side of a mountain.
Hobbs police are still piecing together events that led up to a teenager being shot in the head over the weekend. The Lee County Sheriff's Office was called out to a home on the 700 block of West Martin on Sunday. When they got there, they found 19-year-old Michael Burns dead. Even though deputies interviewed several people who were inside of the house when the shooting happened, they are not able to provide details on what may have led to the gunfire.
A Hobbs man has been charged with using bogus bills around town, and it's led them on a trail to other culprits. Police say a convenience clerk called 911 when Charlie Miles tried to use a fake 20 to pay for gas. Police spotted